So you've been staffed on an internal project, the Dream for All Consultants, on a knowledge development project with the head of the firm's business technology practice. The key thing you've been asked to investigate is the proliferation of ransomware attacks and the impact that they're having on the business community in the US. The term ransomware refers to a family of malware programs which lock IT systems, for example, by disabling the keyboard or preventing access to certain files, and essentially holding them quote unquote hostage pending a ransom payment, which is usually delivered in Bitcoin or something of that nature in cryptocurrencies. Although this has existed for a very, very long time, with the first ransomware happening in 1989 through floppy disk, this has actually, the technologies being used have become very, very advanced. Of late, the incidence rate has skyrocketed quite a bit. And it's estimated that about 700,000 corporate users are affected by ransomware every year. The head of the group would actually like to submit a paper to one of the firm's widely circulated publications, of which you would be a co-author. So the key question that we're actually trying to answer today is what companies should do in the case of these ransomware attacks and crises. In primary, since they have very little time to respond as they're being held ransom and they need to often unlock their files, the question that they need to answer is, should they pay the ransom or should they not?
So in summary of our findings, we see that if we were to actually incorporate some of our risks into our findings, we see that the cost of not paying exceeds the cost of paying if the company has a revenue of about $630 million. In terms of deciding whether to pay or not pay, we can do a very quick assessment, or the company itself can do a very quick assessment of what is their existing tech stack and what might be the loss of revenue.
Right.
Those could plug into what numbers come into paying versus not paying. And in terms of some risks of either approach, if we actually were to go ahead and pay the ransom, a huge risk is that the perpetrators just don't decrypt the files. And in terms of not paying, I'm considering a few risks of obviously the massive loss of revenue, the sort of reputational damage that we might have as a company overall from like not paying. In terms of next steps, I'd recommend the project manager that we can probably bring in some of the cybersecurity expertise from our company to try to vet these numbers and validate them before going ahead, go to market and publish this information.